Following criteria: academically top achieving, someone who is an inspiration to others, someone who constantly challenges her or himself, in top standing to the school, altruistic, and involved in the contributing to the enhancing the school through athletics, the arts, and other extracurricular activities and academics. The valedictorian for the graduating class is Nadira Dewji.
So before I begin, I'd like to thank the person who got me here, and the person who's got me to a lot of places in my life, although my driver. Distinguished guests, parents, faculty, in this year's graduating class. We finally did it, and as Zara likes to say, we be done. And I think I speak on behalf of my class when I say that this moment is exciting, liberating, and most importantly, fulfilling. We finally handed in that last TOK essay, got that last out of uniform slip, and sat in B4 for the last time. And the next few months, we're all going to separate and do different things with our lives. And no matter where we go or who we'll be, I'm certain we'll do great things. The class of 2014 has the potential to do anything and everything. I mean, like an exponential function, we're limitless. So now is the time for us to become the people we've always dreamed of being. Now is the time for us to become doctors, architects, musicians, engineers, actors, writers, athletes, entrepreneurs, marine biologists, dentists, pharmacists, lawyers, journalists, designers, analysts, and politicians. And some of us still don't know what we want to do, but that's okay, because honestly, as of now, we have the rest of our lives to figure it out. And what we do matters, but who we become matters more. Our careers will help us with our lives, but our respect, open-mindedness, maturity, and morality will help the world. And although exciting, the end of high school is also a bit frightening. Up until now, most decisions have been made for us. We've been dependent on our friends, on our teachers, and on our families. But from now on, our decisions will be our own, and they will continue to shape our futures. See, the thing about high school is that there's a set routine to follow. You wake up, you go to school, you have a Subway sandwich, take a drive home, do some homework, and go to bed at 1 a.m. And although some of us are more spontaneous than others, we still more or less follow the same frame of living. But as of today, we have the opportunity to live in the way in which we choose. We'll have to learn to think for ourselves, make our own maps, and journey our own travels. And although it's important to think about the future, we should take some time to think about the memories we created. Because as of now, high school is officially a part of our past. So we'll remember the times we were most brave, when we tried out for Twiga Idol, when we performed at the Cass Gala, when we promoted female rights and equality, when we challenged the administration for what we believed in, and when we stood up for each other. We'll remember the times we were most involved with the community and the world, when we traveled to Netherlands and Jordan for NUN conferences, when we participated in IST and won the state basketball championship, when we played indoor football as if it was the Barclays Premier League, when we created our own bands like No Bounds, when we were bold and began our own community action projects like Fund a Child and Matrix. We'll remember the times we made friends for a lifetime and fell in love. We'll remember the times we got serenaded in front of the whole school, the times we spent our frees at Kahala, the parties we threw, the pillow fights we had in the common room, the times the boys kicked the football in the courtyard and watched the fallen people. And we'll remember our teachers and our classes. We'll remember the times Ajit spoke Kiswahili in chemistry class. Actually, he spoke Kiswahili in every class. We'll remember the many times Kelvin fell asleep. And while he fell asleep a lot, they weren't as nearly as often as the times Hussein fell ill on math test days. We'll remember Mr. Kelly's music class and how it rocked, literally. The time Raven took those interesting daily courses on dreams. We'll remember the time we got accused of bullying Rupert Hunt, We'll remember Ms. Gilman and her ardor for CAS, and the times we blamed at admin for late reflections. And finally, we'll remember Mr. Smith. Micah Smith. And the times Mr. Smith always said, "Don't forget the big time." By the way, Mr. Smith, now that high school is over, maybe you could accept my friend request on Facebook. And we'll remember our parents and our family. The times they didn't understand what an IA was, but proofread them anyway. The times they didn't know what subjects we took or what a TOK essay really was, but cared. We'll remember the times they cared for us. They yelled at us for sure. And finally, we'll remember Tanzania. We'll remember dengue, malaria, heat, potholes, power cuts. But we'll also remember the insanely good Mshaki year, and Bajaj rides and Azam ice cream, and Bongoya Island, and drinking Madafu, and sipping Kilimanjaro on a hot day out of water. But on a more serious note, we must all strive not to get too busy that we become oblivious to our surroundings. I'm sure we've all noticed Torrey Drive and how it's been inhabited with all these new names. Halliburton, Schlumberger, British Gas, Petrobras, what's going on here? And helicopters at Seacliff? We've also noticed that the city has been ripped apart and a massive new road project was ongoing during our IB years. We've also noticed many large and beautiful buildings crop up in no time, some with revolving restaurants and some with KFC. And finally, when our parents drop us at the airport, we'll notice that there's a new terminal being built. So what's going on here? We're preparing to leave, but it seems as though everyone else is just arriving. So my message to the class of 2014 is that Tanzania seems to be where it's happening. We shouldn't take anyone's pity. Tanzania is expanding rapidly. And as the father of our nation, Mwalimu Nyerere, once said, intellectuals have a special contribution to make to the development of our nation and to Africa. And I'm asking that their knowledge and the greater understanding that they should possess should be used for the benefit of the society of which we are all members. Following his lead, let us strive to get out there, learn, grow, mature, and then come back here to live, learn, and prosper. Because honestly, Tanzania is the future. So here's to us, class of 2014. And hopefully in the near future, we'll see each other at Terminal 3. Thank you.
He said each day's a gift and not a given right. Leave no stone unturned, leave your fears behind, and try to take the path less traveled by. That first step you take is the longest ride. If today was your last day and tomorrow was too late, could you say goodbye to yesterday? Or would you live each moment